Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing my second ever story time. So let's hop right into it. If you're new to my channel, hi, how are you? Thank you for watching. If you aren't new to my channel, I'm sorry I hid this from you. So in April of 2016, I got chemical burn on my scalp. Now, I didn't hide it because I didn't want you guys to know. I more so didn't talk about it. Well, it's the internet, and I really didn't want people like coming at me being like,
well, that's what you get for dyeing your hair so much.
That wasn't the reason why I got chemical burn. It's the internet, and like instead of having to like correct and put a ton of people in their place, which I guess kind of what I'm doing right here, I just wanted to just not talk about it. And obviously the only people that knew were my hairstylist, my best friend, my mom knew, my doctor knew. So this goes back to last year. I was working with a new brand. They had asked me to get my hair done. You know, last year was the year that I was really changing my hair color like a ton. Last year was the year that I was really, you know, damaging, as people want to call it. Obviously, since like the end of last year, my hair was doing really terribly, so that's why I dyed it brown. But there was a time, like all the beginning of last year, my hair was like in a really good spot, and then this opportunity came about where I could do something to my hair, something new, and I jumped on it and I was like, yeah, let's do this. This will be so fun. This will be really great for my channel. And it was really great for my channel, and the video did really great. Yeah. However, I decided to go to a new hairstylist, one that I had never been to before. And for the sake of this video, the name will be Callie. So I'd never been to Callie's salon before, but I'd seen Callie's work, and I don't know, I was just kind of in the world of Instagram and whatever. And I booked the appointment and all that stuff, and day came and I was really excited. I went in, we talked about what we were gonna do. Typically at this point in my hair's like career, I have like a system going, and so I kind of had told Callie kind of what we usually do with my hair. This is the bleach that we use, this is how long we leave it on for, this is the volume. Callie said that was fine. Callie was gonna use a different bleach because obviously they didn't have that specific bleach, but this one was better. My roots are really hard to lift. Typically most bleaches at 30 volume can't lift my roots entirely to a white blonde. Like there's always yellow banding. From the get-go I was kind of like, well, I don't think they're gonna be able to lift my hair very well because everyone thinks they can, and then it's like nobody can. Like I said, my hairstylist and I really found a routine that worked for us. Callie applied the bleach to my head. I don't even remember how long it was on my head. I was getting my roots bleached every 8 weeks. So like a normal amount of time that I get my roots bleached, for sure I at least had it on for that time. You know, you're not supposed to use heat with bleach either. And I had said, you know, if we use Schwarzkopf Blonde Me 30 volume with a little bit of heat for, you know, 15 minutes, that's like the cocktail that me and my hairstylist had. They said, we're gonna use 40 volume, we'll use a little bit of heat. So initially I was like, the 40 volume didn't scare me because I knew that like no one can get my roots really high, but it should have locked into my head that like they said that this bleach was better, so maybe that it would have worked quicker. So maybe the 40 wasn't necessary, or maybe the heat wasn't necessary. So Callie went and got lunch as the bleach was developing. I just remember sitting there being like, all right, it's definitely been enough time. You know, I kept sitting there, and then my head started to like, obviously bleach feels like your scalp's on fire. It's like a not comfortable feeling. I hate and I don't miss, but I started like feeling that, and then it kind of started worsening. So I said something to Callie. I said, hey, do you think it's like, you know, time that we take off the bleach? And Callie was doing something that she was almost finished doing, and so she said, yeah, just give me a couple minutes, like I'm almost done what I'm doing. I like waited and waited, and it started getting worse and worse. You know, I'm not a confrontational person, which is something that you'll realize in this story. Like, I don't like making people feel bad. I don't like embarrassing people. Can't remember exactly what I said, but I said, listen, like, we have to take this off now. Like, it's burning. And so Callie said, okay. Brought me over to the sink and started rinsing my head. And as soon as the water like hit my head, I was like, thank God. When my hair was getting washed off, you could actually see how red my scalp was. I remember like editing the video and trying to get other angles to like show and like cropping it a little bit because I didn't want people to like see. They washed it out and everything was okay. They started to apply the color on my head, and the color sat on, and that was all fine and dandy. Everything was great. So then once the color was done, it was time to like do a real blow dry on my hair. Callie blow drying the one side of my head, and then they had someone else blow drying the other side of my head. Whenever the blow dryer would get close to my scalp, I would like wince. I'd be like, oh. So I said something. I was like, it's too hot. And so they turned down the blow dryer and they were still doing it. And I was like, no, like it's too close to my scalp. It like really hurts. And I feel like as a hairdresser, like that should be a pretty, I don't know, maybe you should check my red ass scalp, because that's probably not good if I can't even handle a blow dryer heat on medium heat. I remember saying one other time, like after I had told the person that they had helping, because it wasn't Hallie specifically, it was more so the other person they had helping. So I told them the first time and then I told them one more time. They just kept doing it. So then at that point I had already spoken up twice and I felt like bad, because I feel bad usually. It's so stupid. I know a lot of you guys are just like, Tasha, get it together. So then after my hair was blow dried, we did like extensions, we did styling, whatever. Like I absolutely, camera stopped recording. So after everything was done, I was absolutely in love with my hair. Like I thought it looked so good. This hair costs like over $1,000. And no, I think it was like $1,300. It was something like really crazy where like the brand only covered $500 of the hair and I had to do the rest. For spending that much money, like $1,300 on getting your hair, like you should really be aware of the fact that you left me under the heat for that long, the fact that my scalp is that crazy red, the fact that I can't stand the blow dryer on medium heat. There's just like a lot of things that I would have just been aware of that I feel like that they weren't. So I went home and the next day I felt back here and I felt this like big scab and it was like raised. It wasn't big in size, it was just like big, like it stood off my scalp about like this much. And I remember being like, what? And then I remember under the tape-in on my like one side there was another scab, and then I had one at the back behind my ear. And so I texted my best friend who was working at a salon at the time and I said, yo, like look at this picture, look at these scabs that I have. And she was like, well, you know, that looks like chemical burn. She advised me like, you know, send Callie the picture and like just be like, you know, what can I do for this? Like what can I use on this that will like help it? So I sent Callie the picture and almost immediately they got extremely defensive, being like, that has never happened to me before. I use this bleach, this volume on like so many clients and blah 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 blah. And I was just like, I just asked what I can do to heal it. I didn't even say, you gave me chemical burn. Like I just said like, listen, I have these like scabs that I had, I'm not sure if it's chemical burn, do you have any suggestion what I could do? You know, at that point I just like, I didn't want them to feel horrible. I think afterwards I was a little bit more peeved because I was like, oh, you really don't care. Like I think afterwards I was more peeved than as I was like the first time I brought it up. So anyways, I didn't gain anything from that, but I had these scabs on my head, and the reason I wasn't super angry was because I think I was like in denial a little bit about having had it. Like it'll heal, it's fine. Eventually the scabs, like they did fall off and I thought they were healing. Then the flakes started happening. And I don't mean like dandruff flakes. I mean like they were like pretty massive flakes that were like coming off my hair. And it was so embarrassing because there are certain parts I couldn't like part my hair because you could see it really, really bad. I was like so embarrassed of my hair and for so long, and it really, really sucked. Over time, those big flakes finally stopped, but every time I would get my roots bleached, it was hell. It was much more painful than it had ever been in the past. My hairstylist had said like, you know, you've got chemical burn, like I can see it, you've actually, you know, the epidermis is actually damaged. And she said like, if you keep going on like this and keep bleaching your hair and bleaching your scalp, you know, you might have hair loss, like your hair might stop growing. That was like the first time that I really thought, okay, I might actually have to go brown, I might have to grow my roots out. Every time I would get the roots bleached, the scabs would come back in the same spots and it would be like a never-ending process. Things, you know, started to get a little bit better. I thought they were anyways. So I decided, well, you know what? My hair is damaged, so I'm gonna dye it brown. I dyed my hair brown. That sucked because as soon as I dyed my hair brown, the first at least month, literally humiliating because you could now see the dandruff. So I don't even know if that's the right word. Like, I don't know if that's what you would call it, but you could see it because my hair was dark. And when my hair was pink, like I thought it wasn't that bad anymore because, you know, the scabs weren't as bad, but I had dandruff. I just guess I like couldn't see it because my hair was so light. And you can see now like my scalp is way better and you can't see any flakes. It's in way better condition, and that's because my best friend gave me this dandruff shampoo from her salon and it works amazing. The sad thing is I have to use it every other shower, because if I don't, I've noticed that if I stop using it, that it just comes back, and it just comes back in full force, whereas if I use it every other shower, then it's all good. So if you guys are struggling with dandruff or anything like that, I will put the link down below, like what it's called. I never had a dry scalp before all of this, and now I do. I think I'm just kind of mad at myself because I think like going back, I would have dealt with it a lot differently, and I wish that I had maybe spoken to the manager, not to really like get them in trouble, but to just be like, hey, you should talk to them and let them know that like not everyone's hair, not everyone's scalp, it reacts the same way. You can't just use 40 volume, put them under heat and for a long period of time just because they have dark hair. Sorry I hid that from you guys for so long, but now that I have it under control, I'm more okay talking about it. I think for a long time I was really embarrassed about it. I'm sorry if it wasn't like extremely crazy like a lot of the, you know, story times here on YouTube, but I hope that you guys like enjoyed hearing it. I hope maybe you guys can learn from this too. Speak up, you know. If you guys like Storytime videos, please make sure to let me know so I can do more of them for you. I know a ton of you Snapchat fam, you really want to see the neighbor story, so thumbs up this video if you want me to film the neighbor Storytime video, and I will definitely do that. Maybe I'll film it next week for you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye guys.